I am absolutely loving that new intro. Fucking awesome. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Sarcastic Barman. Welcome to my home, the pub, the place where all the beer is, the place where you can chat about anything. And that is the idea of tonight. It's pub chat. We're in the UK. We're going to talk crap, drink beer, generally put the world to rights, because that's what you do in a pub, isn't it? Joining me tonight, we've got Tatty the Cellar Monkey. He's been looking after the beer, twiddling with the knobs, playing with the pumps, doing all those things he shouldn't really be doing. Tatty, how's it going?
Good evening, Barman. Good evening, troops. Oh, it's going well. The beer is flowing and the whiskey is sweet.
Nice. Are you all ready? This is our first pub chat, isn't it? So,
It
well,
most certainly is.
yeah.
Not
I
my
think.
first time in a pub, I have to say, but
Well,
certainly
of
my first.
course not. You were born in a pub, weren't you? You're Scottish. That's where they give babies.
Born with a bar tap in my mouth.
Love it. Right, sitting in the corner, a bit whiffy of goats. We've got someone that everyone knows you can't get enough of. It's Krafty Keelah.
Hello, Barman. Hello, chat.
Oh, how you doing, Krafty? What's been going on in your world?
I have been healing. I've been very sick for the last week or so, and I'm happy to be back. I'm really happy to be back.
Excited for pub chat?
I'm very excited. I watched it last week from the hospital, and I just couldn't sleep, and I was so happy that I was there. So yeah, I'm happy to be here with our guest of honor. So woohoo!
Brilliant. Then over on the other corner of the bar, there's this weird little fish tank with bits floating in it and this weird little head. I don't know if the head's awake at the moment, but he should be joining us. It's a dead Kennedy in space. I can't even talk. I'm so excited.
My water is boiling. Someone put ice in the jar.
But the ice will water down the whiskey that we already filled the jar up with. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing all right. I'm a little out and about right now. You guys might be able to hear traffic behind me, but I'll be more or less on the stream.
Nice. Love it. Absolutely love it. And then just walking into the bar is that strange little white guy who thinks he can rap. It's really odd and a bit sad, really. MCToon, how you doing?
I'm great. I don't think I can rap. I think I'm terrible. Man, have you heard me?
No, thank God.
Yeah, exactly.
What's been going on in your world? I saw you and Phil Collins the other night. You really put me off the recording of my video right at the end.
Phil is great. He calls himself Conspiracy Captain. We know it's Phil Collins, and love him.
It was a good stream, and I have to say, fair play to Gleam, because he was really good the entire debate. He was nice, polite, didn't interrupt, didn't moan if someone sort of like, oh, I've got this point out. And then the plain truth, that guy's a wanker.
Yeah. he got, my good eye, that little thing that Cap said about the research. When the plain truth is like, yeah, it's really hard because I drive truck and this, and how can I do research and publish it? And Katz is like, yeah, you're right. It's a lot harder to do real research than to just make stuff up.
Mm-hmm. That made me giggle so much.
My gosh, he totally flipped. Oh.
It was a good debate though. Apart from the plain truth on it, the whole thing was actually good, and it was nice to see Gleam being the sort of flat earth through. Yet we'll have a back and forth, which was quite surprising, really. So if I ever see him about on a chat or something like that, I'd quite happily invite him onto one of these pub chat ones, because I think it'd be quite fun. But we'll quickly go around and ask. I've got a few bits that I think could be quite fun to talk about. But has anyone seen anything stupidly moronic or funny that they think would be hilarious and we need to put right with a couple of beers?
I don't know about putting right, but one of the funniest things I saw today was Nathan Thompson getting triggered in Irish Demon's live stream. That was very, very funny.
Oh, I've missed that. That's so annoying. I should have gone and checked it out when you mentioned it before. But yeah, go on. Tell us about Irish Demon and Nathan getting triggered, because that does sound amusing as fuck.
When Nathan was arrested, he got this guy to go down to the school that he was kicked from and give out leaflets across the road in the park or some crap like
God.
that. And his cousin was on speaking. The guy's cousin was on. And so, of course, Natalie turns up in the chat and is like, I'll talk to you. So Demon was like, come on. Right. Just set up Skype. And then he tried to add himself on someone else's Skype account and Demon wasn't having it. And so he sat there in the chat crying about these people won't even talk to me. They were inviting him on. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those it's one of those things that like makes absolutely no sense. But it was very funny. Very funny.
It takes about 30 seconds to set up a Skype account. Just connect your Google account to it or just go, make one, sign up, whatever. Is that too difficult for flat earthers nowadays to set up a Skype account?
Yes, and it was going for 2.5 hours as well. So in 2.5 hours, he could not work out how to make a Skype account in his own name.
I'm quite disturbed that the people actually listen to him. I mean, I know not many people listen to him, but if you lack the ability to set up that,
I'll be honest. I agree with Nathan in that I don't want to talk to him because I don't want to talk to a parody of a human being.
Here.
Oh dear me, but no, that is just completely and utterly useless. Tusk has just put in chat he's probably banned from Skype too, though, so there is that as a point of contention, because it wouldn't surprise me he gets banned from most things. But
yeah, I mean, I'm kind of okay. Yeah, if you set up a debate, there's a debate, and that's fine. But if I'm on a live stream, I'm not completely in favor of any douchebag coming in claiming that the earth is flat and then just inviting them on to the stream. No, you have places that you can go and bitch about how the shape of the earth. You don't need an extra platform. So it's different if there's a planned debate, but I'm not exactly, personally speaking, I'm not in favor of bringing flerfs on mid live stream. Do you know what I mean? Yes, it's entertaining sometimes, but they have places for that.
They do, and I mean, Gem Panda's Discord server is ideal for things like that because people can drop in and out, and there's always things going on in there. But if you've been invited on, if you've joined it and someone said, "Yeah, come on," because obviously Irish Demon wants to get to Natalie, but yeah. It just amuses me to hell that I have just noticed one thing in chat which I don't know what's going on there. Where did it go? Mr. Victory put in let people know that I'm putting together a story about Flat Earthology Jesus about what he did to Ilya yesterday, and Ilya has challenged Ross. We need him to answer for his crime. I've been busy as hell the last few days, so I've got no idea what's going on there. If anyone in chat can put any more information, that's always good. Or if anyone on the panel here knows what's going on, because I know we're all in the same boats at the moment with work and things like that. The joy of the UK reopening, apart from Tatty.
Yeah.
Because you never stopped, did you?
Nope. The machine keeps on going.
Oh, I love it. But speaking of places closing down, has anyone seen what someone tweeted? Well, not tweeted, Facebooked about Leicester and shutdowns?
Unfortunately, I missed that.
Oh, so obviously Leicester's re-shut down. They basically got into a local lockdown. And the Facebook parody posts that are going around at the moment is, looks like Leicester will be the guinea pigs of 5G, a real second wave. 5G turned on in Leicester and it's been shut down for COVID. Wake up, world. May God have mercy on those living in Leicester. It won't stop there, though. Your city will be next. Ignoring the fact that Leicester's had 5G for, what are we on now? 7, 8, 9 months. So I don't get how they work that. But these people who think that 5G is causing COVID.
Yeah, there's no 5G in Brazil, and they are the second most affected country right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, when everything was going on and France was worse, I had a conversation with someone saying, well, none of France's networks have actually turned on their 5G yet. They've got towers in place, but they're not powered on because they've not done the auctions to actually set up what bands they're using, who's using what. It's like none of it's turned on. Not even the test bits are going on for another 2 months. Like, yeah, but France, it's got them. It says so. No, it doesn't. I don't get, because obviously, Toon, you spend a lot of time in the Facebook groups with these nutters more than I do. What do they think is actually doing this with 5G? Because it's mental.
Yeah, people can't have any understanding of anything in order to claim that. It's just purely for uneducated people.
Because I notice in the groups they are nuts. They are absolutely nuts. They come out with the 60 gigahertz line, which is always amusing as hell. And
Yeah.
I'm sure I saw something on one of them that someone didn't know what the dB millivolts for. Oh crap! My brain's gone blank.
The milliwaves.
It wasn't
Milliwaves.
milliwaves. It was to do with the
Oh,
power.
not that boy from Manchester then, no, and his milliwaves.
Oh God, no!
Oh.
Oh, he was useless. But yeah, they didn't actually understand the symbols and the acronyms and things given for power. Like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
What?
that there was somebody posted a question, baiting them because there's no 60 gigahertz 5G, but saying, at what power level is 60 gigahertz harmful to humans? And in this group, which is 5G, all the facts you need to know, not one single person could answer the question. Not one. Somebody tried to claim that at 60 milliamps, it's dangerous, which is not a unit for radio frequency. Turns out he's talking about an article about when, from the 1800s, when they were first starting to roll out electricity over wires and showing that 60 milliamps through a human, directly touching, getting a shock can be harmful. That was what he thought. And he did not know the difference between 60 hertz, which is what we have in the United States for our alternating current, and 60 gigahertz radio frequency. He had no clue, and he was calling, and I'm having a conversation with this guy, and he's calling me stupid, and that I don't understand these things. When I guess all that electrical engineering I studied doesn't meet his. I don't think it looks like he finished high school.
Oh, good God! Yeah, they
MCToon.
aren't the brightest in that group. Oh, sorry.
MCToon, thank you very much for explaining that, because I recently saw a 1900s anti-electricity kind of cartoon, and it's depicting exactly what you just described. So now I know what that's inspired from.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
People getting shocked on the wires and everyone going, "Do you want this to happen to your kids?"
Are people really this daft that they understand so little on technology, but are then going to talk about it like that? I mean, I've got reasonable technology skills, but I try not to get out my depth with it. But these people just don't seem to understand that they're not in the paddling pool anymore, and they're out with people like Toon and others who know far more and are just crucifying these twats.
Well, I think it's symptomatic of the fact that there is a rise in anti-science rhetoric. And it's not just from the globe deniers, it's not just from conspiracy nuts and hardened conspiracy nuts. It's coming from the general public. There is a rise in anti-science that if I don't understand it, no one can understand it. And that's dangerous. Now, usually, if you look to the mainstream media, they will have experts. They will have people who have been in this field and they've earned the respect. But more and more and more with social media, everyone is an expert. And that's part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go ahead and add that I think a portion of the problem is that mainstream media isn't very good at its job anymore, and it is kind of semi-responsible for that anti-science narrative, because they hear conflicting opinions from different news sources and they say, wait, this is science, it's supposed to be settled.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the word settled science, But
No, it's never settled.
No,
they like it, mainstream and you know, and a lot of people they think that that you can prove things in science and that something can be settled. In reality, there's always the door open.
I would say that the most pertinent phrase in science is a two-word phrase, and it's current understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was going to say something similar, that science is just our best understanding, and as more information or more evidence is found, that we go, oh, that actually doesn't work because of that, and then that means that has to be like that. Oh, right, okay, now we've got a new understanding. You're like, oh, and it's these 5G nut jobs think, yes, high frequency is bad, but no, I mean, there was a post, I'm sure, if it was on the 5G group that you're on, Toon, or one of the other ones, and someone said, I went outside to measure a frequency and I got like 300 and something terahertz. And I was the first person there. So I just put the Michael Jackson. Oh, it was. But there's some of the posts that replied to it that didn't understand why that was funny. I mean, I think I was first on there and I put the Michael Jackson eating popcorn emoji because I was just waiting for it. I was like, come on. And some of the posts were like, you need to move. What are you living next door to? And you got the funny ones who understood it, but it just shows the lack of understanding in that group.
Yeah, and it's also the idea of ionizing and non-ionizing. A lot of people wouldn't know the difference.
Nope.
And so when someone comes along and says, this is actually how it really is, and they're confident, it doesn't matter if they actually know what they're talking about, because it's, again, the move for anti-science is, well, I'm just an ordinary person and I understand this.
Mm-hmm.
They're telling you lies.
Well, a lot of the stuff that's covered on the science in these groups is what most of us probably learnt in school, and it just goes to show how much attention these people actually paid in school. Because I did my dual award science and I did extra credits, so I had my 3 GCSEs for it all. But even then, I was a crap student. I did my A-level chemistry and I hated that. I couldn't get over formulas. I was just like, no, I don't understand why that number goes there. And like, fuck it, never mind. I only did AS level 1 year of it. But the basic stuff on frequencies, that was what you learned in physics. It's not difficult.
Well, here's the thing, like for me in school, I left school at 15. I was not interested. I didn't see a path for me in education. And then I left and went to work, and I worked abroad and came back. And then all of a sudden I couldn't get a job when I came back. And it was 2009 when I came back, and just everything fell apart. And yeah, I myself went into that phase of, well, what happened, and I start doing my own research. And again, the question about doing your own research, which I am going to touch on at some point, the importance of peer-reviewed studies, the importance of empirical evidence and reliable sources. That's the big key, knowing where to get reliable sources. So at some stage, I just decided, you know what, I'll go back to university. I'll try get into university to study how society got to the way it was. And I ended up in an advanced sociology course. So, and I left school at 15. So I mean, the idea that third level education is cut off from ordinary people, or that third level education is something to be laughed at as if it's some kind of snobbish institution. It's not. It's there for everyone. It's there to be used, and it gives you the tools that you need to analyze this kind of thing.
Well, worse, even if you don't go into higher education, there's no reason to stop basically learning and understanding things and being honest and going, oh, I don't actually understand that, and spending time looking into it more. I mean, I had a woman today who swore blind to me that smallpox is a bacteria, and viruses only came into existence because of vaccines.
Wow.
Oh my God. And
no matter what, I showed us screenshots from everything from the CDC, Wikipedia, NCDHIL, the works. She finished her last post before she blocked me, and it was a Google screenshot. And she'd obviously Googled, you can see the top, is smallpox a virus and obviously it cut off, so put all bacteria. I found she had to go to page 3 to find a page from Health and Wellbeing or something health. And the thing was smallpox and childhood diseases. And then the article, because it had the word bacteria in it, but it was, when you click and found the article, it was all about childhood diseases and bacteria and viruses. And the full bit about smallpox is it's a viral infection. But she blocked me before she got my reply. Shame. But this woman swore blind. Of course, she thought vaccines were causing everything as well. 5G was causing everything. And I think for some people, there's no hope to learn. That's the word. They are stuck in their blind alley. But yeah.
So, to be fair, right? So, we talked to flat earthers, we talked to these people, and we're like, you got to follow the evidence. And so, you know, we need to do the same thing. I talked to that guy who actually wears tinfoil hats, and I had found 5 different studies about people and electrosensitivity that they could not find anything. But since then, I have found that there is a little bit of evidence for it, and it could be, because there's evidence, it could be that some people can sense, or at least there's some physiological changes from that they can identify. So I'm looking into that.
See, that would actually be really interesting, because all the studies obviously we've seen before is like, well, no, there's not. People see it as a placebo effect and things like that. So if there is some evidence behind people picking up, it's worth knowing. But unlike them, at least we're willing to go, oh, there might be something new. Whereas they're like, no. What?
Yeah.
There's one for you, Toon. In chat, Ancheto Maldonado. That'll do. He senses electricity. I'm assuming he's going to say he touches the wires or something just to take them in.
Yeah,
but if not...
Yeah, if you take a whiz on an electric fence, you will.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and good evening, Field Jesus in you. Kevin, your favourite person's here. He says, it's not as simple as electrons and proton. There is a third level of charge, neither plus VE nor underscore VE or neutral. Tripolar waves. I educated myself.
Right, so there's a third level that's neither positive, negative, or neutral. Is that not 3 levels straight off?
I would guess so, yeah. Unless he meant the positive and negative is 1 level, the neutral is 1 level, and then there's the tripolar waves.
Okay.
I think he's just talking about one of those guitars that goes to 13.
I think no, Field Jesus wouldn't have to go to 14, because 13 it ends with a 3. It's like, whoa, can't have 3 numbers. But
is he serious or is he goofy?
Field Jesus in you, that's probably a serious comment from him.
Yeah,
Okay.
Field Jesus in you is special.
The jury is still out, but it would appear that Field Jesus is genuine.
All right.
So I was going to ask, did that make any sense to you of what he said there, Toon?
Well, at first I'm like, well, because I didn't know if he's a out there or if he's just talking about 3-phase power, which somebody who doesn't know plus and minus quite well enough could maybe get confused about. But okay, he's out there, so I don't think that it's what he's talking about. I think he watched a video on some woo, right? I educate myself and hope to help others. Yeah, send me the the stuff there, Field Jesus in you, MCToon at MCToon.net. So
yeah, I mean, I'll be fair to Field Jesus. He believes some odd things, but he is very good that he understands COVID is a real thing. He seems quite normal apart from the occasional odd beliefs. That's why we like him coming in chat, because
well, that and he's good at taking it on the chin, right?
Yeah.
And MC, just a quick example of kind of things this guy believes. They tend to cite an article from NASA where they talk about how they were able to sort of manipulate a single photon, and because of that, NASA can make up what you see in the sky.
Wow, that's a jump.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bull says three-phase is beyond the flirfs. Feel Jesus and you, right? Okay, this gets to the crux of my point. I educate myself and hope to help others with my research. You're not a reliable researcher. You're not a reliable source. So you doing your own research and then saying that that is fact, no, it's not, because it has to be repeatable. And a lot of what you say comes out of a Bible, which is 2,000 years old, and we do not know who wrote it, the various passages. Now, if you want to follow the Bible, you don't even know which Bible you actually believe in, but okay, that's fine, that's your choice. But Bible is truth. Which Bible? I've asked you this several times, and you don't know which Bible. So be very, very careful when you're talking about I do my own research and I help others find the truth, because you don't know what the truth is. Truth is subjective. It has to be repeatable for it to be a fact.
Mm-hmm. It comes down when you talk about sources before. It's all right quoting one source, but if you can have multiple points of information that cover the same thing, but from different sources all round. So say BBC have covered a story of CERN doing this experiment, but at the same time, ITV are doing a coverage of Yale, for example, doing another experiment that is basically the same thing, and they're coming back with the same results. You can go, yeah, I know that's a shit example. You get what I mean. So different points of reference for different sources that point to the same conclusion.
Exactly.
That's much. Actually, that's second sentence was quite good. I saw something.
You surprised yourself there.
Drink.
I did. Anchetto Dando also says he is real. He can hear buzzing when he stands next to a 480 volt box.
Well, there's an audible buzz.
It's supposed to be that.
From the transformer.
That's coming from his missus' bedroom.
No, we used to live behind a substation, and you could go into the substation, and you could hear it when the guy opened it, and we go in. You're like, ooh, and it did. You sort of walked in. I don't know if it's just in my brain, like I'm walking into a room that's full of electric, but you did sort of feel your skin sort of tingle. But then it was the substation for the entire village, so it probably could have.
Okay, sorry.
Hey guys, I think there's something horribly wrong with my water. Whenever I turn on the tap, I hear this weird whooshing noise.
That's the chemicals that turns the frogs gay.
Oh God! Don't start on bloody people and tap work, because it's fucking annoying.
Oh my goodness, he's citing Peter and Pete.
I know. I was just about to.
Oh my goodness, Field
Peter and Pete doesn't even think that water takes 2-0.
Cannot be serious.
Field Jesus in you. I missed that. Can you please repeat that comment? Because I know I could scroll up, but I want you to post that again.
Tatty, he doesn't even need to repeat that comment, because he just repeated the funnest one. Was Pete and Pete proved water is not H2O. Yeah. Now, did anyone else do the electrolysis in school where you do 2 cathodes into water and then let the water sort of bubble off and you can make it pop? Was that cool?
I did that amongst other things, yeah.
Put in the chat what everyone is thinking.
What? So here's the problem. All the free energy nutters, the first thing they do is they're like, hey, if you pass electricity through water, then you get hydrogen oxygen, and then you can burn it and put it in your car, and then you can get free electricity and free power and drive your car forever. Like that. Peter must have skipped that.
Did they get that far?
He skipped a lot of things, but I'm gonna ignore Field Jesus in you. He's saying, part of me believes he's only saying it to get attention, so I'm gonna cut that off right now. I'm done with him.
Nah, you might be. Tusk got it right, though. Pete and Pete are actually brilliant daddalist situational comedians, and they're years ahead of their time. If they came out saying they were comedians one day, the whole show would make sense with them there sitting there with the bad green screen. You just go, oh, fuck, it was as well. It's too funny that people don't get it. But speaking of Pete and Pete, did anyone watch Pete and Pete as a kid? The two kids in America and their dad with the car that said Road King and license plate. Was that just? Am I the only one who remembers that? I think it was on Nickelodeon. That was probably far more interesting than Pete and Pete on YouTube.
Was that before or after Danger Mouse?
Oh, I'd say after, dude.
All I know is Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse was good. Danger Mouse was good. Though I will point out, you do seem to have a Beavis and Butthead hairdo in your avatar on the screen, which is quite cool.
I do. That's from Dick Dawson. Thank you, Dick Dawson.
I think it's a very fitting outfit. He showed it me. I was like, yes, we're so having that. Just seeing what.
Yep. I've got boots, and I've worn it at festivals. And I can't find it now, but I have a leather bracelet with the spikes on it.
Nice.
God and Gravier says in the chat, Ren and Stimpy, absolutely, that was a show. That was a brilliant, brilliant show.
Happy,
joy, happy, joy. That was, it was one of the weirdest programs I've ever watched. That would not get made today, and it's such a shame.
No, it wouldn't.
And Cow and Chicken as well.
The electric fence.
Yes.
Pinky in the brain. Bull knows me. Pinky in the brain.
Yeah. See, that
Pinky in the
probably
brain.
would get made nowadays. I like the fact that Clive Wells has put Danger Mouse is FTFE and Penfold is Team Skeptic.
Oh,
Poor team.
That was it was one of the guys early on actually pinned FTFE as Penfold.
Nice.
Oh,
There we go.
Did a video.
Oh, geez. The log commercial for Ren and Stimpy, that was the one I couldn't think of.
I had the lyrics to the log commercial running in my my scroller for the first 6 months of my not 6 months, but of my live streams.
Oh, that you not get any trouble for copyright on it?
Oh, just the text.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
I thought you had the actual thing, but yeah, I suppose that wouldn't count at all. But that's led me nicely into one thing. Mr. Bozo Head, I know, has had one of his videos removed if he's still on chat because he did. Pardon, mate.
Two
He's had.
Yeah.
Oh, did he get 2 strikes on it? Jesus. So he was doing the same video that I did on my last one, which was setting bushfires or something like that. Tats, you've got someone on the door, mate.
I haven't all gold.
Yeah, so setting bushfires. So if people can go over and give Mr. Bozo Head some love and do some reporting on setting bushfires videos, because this is the same video that I covered that says that vaccines cause autism, and that basically implied that 5G causes suicide. So you can imagine the words that came out of my mouth on that were quite amusing.
Yep.
So
while we're talking about autism, the EiE Network has a new show called The Autism Show. If you haven't seen it, make sure that you do, because it's absolutely brilliant. Sorry, I had to show that one.
That's right. If we're doing shilling shows as well, I've got to say, go and watch Pain of Progress. If you haven't watched Pain of Progress, it's awesome. But anyway, back to Field. We have something else. Field Jesus in You is sensible about vaccines don't cause autism. Thank you, Field Jesus in You. You gain an extra point in the world of not being as crazy as we thought you might have been. But I don't get how that's not gone away over all these years, that people still think it causes autism. And I found something hell of a funny out the other day, that people, when vaccines first came out, that people thought that vaccines caused syphilis. Oh, Kevin.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just want to quickly point out, Barman, that the subtitles think that you think his name is Phil Jesus Knew You.
Brilliant.
Oh, that's awesome. Me and Tatty were playing with the subtitles before, finding words you can't say, and I tried to say me saying, and it came out as methane. It was hilarious. But yeah, I thought it was hilarious that people used to think vaccines cause syphilis, because obviously these vaccine nutters have got to have something to go by for craziness. So yeah, they seem to have moved from syphilis to diseases to viruses to autism now, and they just get stupider by each generation. It looks.
Well, didn't that woman you were interacting with, we'll say, did she know, what was it, no, it was smallpox, she said.
She thought smallpox was a bacteria, and she also thought that viruses didn't exist until vaccines started, and vaccinations is what gave the smallpox virus its name, even though the varroa virus, even though smallpox wasn't a virus in her words. And I was like,
Wow.
Smallpox being the first virus that was ever eradicated by vaccine.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she thinks it's not a virus. And when
Well
I
done.
pointed out that we've got information that as far back as the ancient Egyptians, there's accounts of something that could have been smallpox and polio.
Mm-hmm.
And she went, oh, if those viruses existed then, we'd all be dead. I was like, why would we? Does everyone who catches these things die? So, no. Well, there you go then. And you got to think, with a less dense population, things aren't going to spread.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, Antonio Maladando. The Black Plague was actually bacterial. I know this from doing all my research the last couple of days. Which I was surprised because I always thought it was a virus as well. Yeah. Bull's got it right. Measles, mumps, rubella, smallpox, polio, chickenpox, all viruses.
Oh, does anyone have a bell to ding?
Ding,
Hey,
ding.
Skeptic's here.
good evening, Team Skeptic. I don't think I've got a bell. I never set up my sound.
Robin is in.
Let's see.
Ding.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Black Plague currently inappropriate.
Culturally inappropriate.
Oh, I love that. That's amused me quite amusingly.
Chat
So
fucking rocks, man.
what else has everyone seen this week? I'm sure we've all got our crazy sound stories.
Well, I'm doing some research into a video on MK Ultra.
Ooh.
And I learned recently that Uma Thurman, Drew Barrymore, and I think Halle Berry are they're all men who are under MK Ultra mind control.
Really?
Is this the same person that thinks The Rock is female? Because I've seen that one and that would look fucking hilarious.
I haven't seen that.
Oh yeah, that was.
I did see. It reminds me of the day that I decided Conspiracies by Hans is a Poe. The video title was "Vin Diesel was pregnant."
I'll be right back. I'm needing a whiskey for this shit.
Someone that watched Twins and thought it was a documentary.
Oh good God! Well, these people can't be serious though when they look at these things, because the trans investigation ones, I find them always funny. If you're scrolling through, one pops up on your Shill account to find, oh, what's this person talking about now? Oh, trans investigations. It's just an excuse to mute it and just, oh, he's going to run the mouse over and look at like 50 different pictures of attractive women for an hour. Nice. So put it on as the background
one.
in the pub. People love it.
Did you ever see Shoe on Head reacting to her own transvestigation?
No, I didn't see that.
It was very funny. It was very funny.
Oh, that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect.
The guy brings up like a picture of her in a red dress and he goes, "This is some horror of Babylon mythology." And she just like turns to the camera and goes, "Is he calling me a slut?"
Oh my good God. But I don't get where these people make this crap up from. They must be wrong in the brain. They really must be, because there's no way you can look at half these women and go, yeah, that was a man. Or look at someone like The Rock and go, yeah, that's a woman. Because I'd love someone to walk up to The Rock and say, you're trans, you're a woman. Because I'm sure the first couple of times he's just going to laugh at you and go, yeah, whatever, you short little person.
And I mean,
But yeah, I was gonna say The Rock is like apparently like notoriously really nice, so I don't know if he would do anything.
Well, he
it's
might do
not
after the 50th time.
for someone like The Rock, ever since he was a teenager, every step he took was documented by the WWE, WWF, because his dad was in the WWF back in the day. So he's been filmed at ringside as a child. So the idea that somehow he switched from being a female then to being a male now when he's on camera.
You know, Krafty, I didn't know that his dad was a wrestler as well, but that
And
makes
his
perfect
grandfather.
sense because of an early episode of That 70s Show where he plays a wrestler named something Johnson, not Dwayne. And at one point in that episode, he says, you know, I've got a son about your age, and one day he's going to be the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
Yeah, so his dad was Rocky Johnson.
Rocky Johnson, yeah, that's right.
His grandfather was Peter Maivia, a chieftain and a wrestler as well. So when he entered wrestling, he went under the name Rocky Maivia because he's third generation. But then he dropped the Maivia and then just became The Rock. He inducted both of them into the WWE Hall of Fame a couple of years ago. It was really sweet to watch, actually.
I'm still reeling from the fact he was in the WWF and he was pictured as a Wayne. Was he dressed like a panda?
That's the thing. They actually lost a court case. World Wrestling Federation lost a court case to the WWF, and they had to change it to the WWE.
That was so dumb.
Right.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? Because didn't the Wildlife Fund come after the Wrestling Federation?
I'm not sure.
Christ knows.
That's debatable. I think. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, they just decided to change it anyway. But they lost a court case somewhere along the line.
1961.
Wrestling.
1961 for the Worldwide Fund for Nature.
Okay.
Is
61.
it the Worldwide Fund?
61.
I always thought it was the World Wildlife Fund.
No. Let's see.
There you go.
Yeah.
WE 1980. So yeah, the Wildlife Fund came first then. My bad.
Yeah.
Probably why they lost the court case.
Yeah. Well, wasn't Trump in the
Fair enough.
WWE?
He was
at one
at one stage, yeah.
He was, and then there was that whole weird thing that went around when someone like photoshopped the CNN logo over the person that he was wrestling with, and CNN like threw a hissy fit. It was very strange.
Yeah. So he never actually wrestled, because that's a shame, because that would explain some of the shit he comes out with, let's be fair, especially on Twitter, if he'd suffered lots and lots of head injuries.
Well, I mean, I think he wrestled in the same way that what's his name, the robot guy, Vince McMahon, in the same way that he quote unquote wrestles in a suit.
Oh God, we've had
I think he was supposed to be up against Vince McMahon or something.
Oh, God.
I think so. Yeah, because it was this whole like two business tycoons going at it thing, I think.
I bet Vince McMahon would have won if they'd done it properly. We've had a Bull's walked into the pub for a last-minute pint. Good evening, Bull. Or not.
Hello, everybody.
There he is.
Hey,
How
Bill.
you doing, Squire?
I am doing well. I'm actually feeling much better than I was yesterday.
Awesome.
But,
So
Get
have you,
Stuffle. Let's get you a pint, man. What you been up to?
oh, nothing. I thought I was going to be doing this today, but then come to find out it was at 5 instead of 8, which is what I was expecting. And you're
Probably
doing
another
it.
one at-
So
Oh, no,
this
there'll
is
be
the
another one
UK
at 8.
You've got the other one
when?
at 8, or
Yeah.
whatever time you just said.
No, you can't just make up a show.
Can I just say real quick.
Can't just make up a show.
Yeah. Before we get into all that, really quickly, going back to the debate the other night with Gleam and what's his face, Plain Truth, I have to give props to Bull because Bull was producing that, and Plain Truth acted
Hell
like
yeah.
a complete asshole. And fair fucking play to you, man. You stood up to him. You
Oh,
should have
well.
said, if you don't like it, get the fuck out.
Fuck off.
Yeah, like don't ask me to do favors for you and treat me like shit at the same time. Don't ask for proof of what I see. I'm the one debating you, for fuck's sake. Asking me for proofs the files you sent me look like shit. I don't need to prove that to you. They look like shit to me. Take my word for it. They look like shit.
Oh, did you? Because he was saying it's called this. You're like, they're all fucking called this. They all look exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, they're all named IMG and a number.
Yeah.
Literally. And they're all cut in half. Like if I look at them, they're all one side something and the other side something. And so if you're looking at thumbnails of all these, and he says, pick the one that's cut in half with the thumbnail on one side and a video on the other side, you're like, what? They all are that. Every single one of them was something like that.
I say you should just pick the wrong one on purpose.
It takes a while to get you riled up, and once you do, I feel sorry for anyone that crosses you. But that was just, I think that made the night for me. Just to see you saying, you know what, you've been acting like a complete tool for the entire time. You're not doing it with me.
Mm-hmm.
That was absolutely beautiful, man.
Well, and that was
Absolutely
it. Like if he had been civil to anybody that whole time, instead of playing the victim card like he always does, then I wouldn't have had as big a problem with that. But you act like an ass, and then they're persecuting me. They're persecuting me. No one's persecuting you. You're just wrong. Deal with it.
The best line was when you turned around and said, "Don't argue with the boy in charge," basically, because I've got a button here. Bye-bye.
Yep. I got a button here. Bye-bye is right. That's about where I was, but I wasn't going to do that to MCToon a second time because I did to him on the Non Sequitur show. So I was like, I better. When MCToon tells me to cut him, then I cut him. I did.
Yeah.
When you said goodbye to let him go, I was just like, close, click, out of here.
Nice.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I wouldn't have blamed you if you kicked me. It would have made the show more amusing, in my opinion. Because Gleam would have been there like, this is why I talk like an adult.
I know, and it's odd for Gleam to look positively adult. For me, it's hard to see him as an adult. And he was so respectful on that stream. I was like, is this the real Gleam? Did they find someone with the same name?
Gleam and myself and Conspiracy Cats, both Conspiracy Cats and I, we like him, and we have decent conversations with him on chat and stuff. So we don't really have. He presses us, right? And he's not actually a flat earther. No,
he's not.
Contrarian.
Yeah. So, but he just argues their side. So I don't know. He's probably their best arguer.
Yeah. I mean, we say about polite flat earthers, the one that you can tell that they're being polite only in the way they're being an asshole has got to be Spurs, because everything's, sir, this, and yes, Mr. Scientist, Mr. Doctor, and it's like, you're just being a twat, and you're doing it on purpose to try and just be a cock, basically. And here's someone who gets under my fucking skin. I will never know why.
Yeah.
Does it?
Sorry,
I don't know.
on the live, real quick, in the chat says, I'm still not happy about Gleam trying to discredit my satellite tracking software. He tried, he failed.
Yeah. Kevin, you were trying to get in there too.
I instantly forgot what I was going to say.
About Spurs, probably.
You were talking about how much Spurs frustrates you with the kind of like fake politeness. No, that's okay, Krafty. It just completely went out of my head. But I was thinking what might annoy me more is people like Russian vids who their whole argument is based on putting supposed in front of everything.
Oh yeah.
Like you listen to a video from Russian vids and he's just going, let's take a look at this supposed astronaut Ed White on the supposed Gemini mission where he's supposedly orbiting the Earth. And it's like, shut up, dude.
What you forgot the suffix. The suffix is give me a break.
Give me You think that's real? Yeah, give me a break.
Give me a break. Look, it's very simple, guys.
Yeah, that would get a bit annoying, but then we have to remember as well, Spurs doesn't think air pressure's a thing.
That was.
So what does he think happens when you? What does he think happens when you drive up a steep hill?
it gets colder.
But what happens to your ears?
They get cold. I tried to have a conversation with him once that I said, look, I used to live basically next door to Snowdon. I could see it out my bedroom window. I said that water at the top of Snowdon, even though it's not that high, it doesn't boil at the same temperature as the ground, and tea tastes like shit at the top of Snowdon. And he said,
Yes.
well, yeah, it's just because it's colder. And I pointed out that no, it could be hotter on the top of Snowdon than it is in the village of Porthmadog, where I used to basically live by. But it would still boil shit water at the top of Snowdon because of pressure. And he just couldn't wrap his head around this. We ended up showing him a video of these campers, hikers going all the way up Mount Everest and boiling water at certain places along the way up and going, look, it's in like 70 odd degrees or something. And we're like, he just denied the whole thing. He said, it's just because it's colder. Look at all the ice. We're like, fuck my life.
And that wouldn't actually be in favor of boiling water at lower temperatures.
No.
That would make it take longer if there was ice around it.
That's what you think, wouldn't it? Well, I'm actually quite shocked. We're actually on 54 minutes through this show, and the idea is to go for an hour. So, given that time already, it's mad that we're actually going to have to start going round and getting a quick wrap up of what everyone thought is crazy. Because Tattie's got work in the morning, so we don't want to go too long. And Toon's got jobs to do as well. And my wife's looking at me like, you said we were going to watch a film. And I'm like, yes, we're going to watch a film. Don't worry. got to have some nights.
Barman.
Yeah,
Krafty says hello, Mrs. Barman.
Tattie says attack.
Oh no, I'm not saying that because she will. She'll tickle me on the stream. She's done that before now.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Mrs. Barman, tickle him. Can I get her email address?
She's
I
actually
have her on
Discord.
I have her on Facebook.
Oh, excellent. I'll find her on Facebook.
Go away. She's running away now. That was not. You're all evil. I don't know if she's got it on in the other room and heard that. So. Oh, bastards. Right. So I'll start with our main guest tonight, MCToon. Anything crazy you want to tell us about? And when is Lee's debate coming out on your channel? Because I'm really looking forward to that one, and it keeps getting moved.
Yeah. So yeah, Lee and Claire Walls. She just wants to be Claire. She's an anti-vaxxer. She thinks she's a targeted individual. She thinks that she is a death weapon. It's everything except flat Earth is her deal. But I'm sure she's in line for that. That's the next one. But she had to reschedule, and the I don't know. We're trying to get it going. Maybe next Wednesday.
That'd be cool.
So, and I just got my slide rule in the mail. So I don't know how the hell you use a slide rule. Gonna have to figure that out. And then next week, here's the crazy. The crazy is coming Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central. I have myself and probably FTFE versus Hip Hop Hippie and McFlatty. And McFlatty, I saw was in the chat earlier. Yeah, and yeah, definitely don't go look at McFlatty's channel, and definitely don't go sub to McFlatty.
I mean, just with Hip Hop Hippie, that's going to be amusing as hell.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and Hip Hop Hippie clearly doesn't know McFlatty, so that should be good.
Oh, McFlatty's he's the worst, man. I had the unfortunate error of stumbling across his channel when I was doing my research for the Shills. And I seen one look at it, I thought, Christ, not even the Shills is touching that.
Yeah, I cannot blame him. Yep.
Oh, that would be amusing. So looking forward to that one. Bull, you've joined us late, but what have you have to tell us about?
Well, I was just joining because Phil Jesus in you is hilarious. Like this latest message, air implies certain substances that are clearly not air are not there. Really? So let's find out what happens when we take the air away from you.
His problem seems to be that air is too vague a term. We don't know what's in the air. Sorry, Phil Jesus, in you 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, 0.9% argon, and 0.04% carbon dioxide.
Right, and the rest is anything that we didn't cover is trace gases that you can barely detect. So blah blah blah.
Cool.
And that's literally like I was just coming in because I don't understand. Like MCToon, thank you for reminding me why I hated Saturday night fights. Because
it was a mess. Yeah, good job on the production.
Oh, I appreciate it, but like that's how flat earthers operate. Here's my stuff. 5 minutes after the show started. Thanks.
Always fun.
I'm glad I've never had to do background stuff like that, because that I would just tell them, no, you're too late. You've got to get it before the show. Pretend it's homework.
In fact, let's not pretend. It is your homework.
Love it. Krafty, what have you got to tell us about?
Not much actually, because as I said, I've been sick, but I am working on a new Challenging Conspiracies with Phil Bell, looking at models, flat Earth models, or lack thereof. And I'm working on something a little bit hush hush with Where's Wally? So, yay, fun.
Nice.
And by the way, Hip Hop Hippie, sorry, if Hip Hop Hippie is on, Hip Hop Hippie describes himself as a historical revisionist. He's not. Challenge him on this for me. He is a distortionist. He distorts reality. He distorts facts to pretend that they're not as severe as they are, and it's just as damaging as being a denialist.
Nice. Well worth it then. That I will definitely have to pull him up. If I'm in chat, if I'm awake that night, I'll just put it in. Depends how busy the pub is. Kevin, your favourite person has also put something in chat you're going to love. It's ether, not air. There's no nitrogen or argon.
Yeah, and I already responded with there's no evidence for ether existing. In fact, the Michelson-Morley experiment disproved it quite nicely. I just want to kind of piggyback on what Krafty was saying. Here's a quote from Hip Hop Hippie when he was on my channel. Just look into it, man. It's just information. That's all the Holocaust hoax is.
What?
That is a quote from Hip Hop Hippie.
Yep.
Wow.
What a dumb fucker.
That is mental. Oh, wow. I don't even have words for that, because people like that are fucking annoying. Even Feel Jesus in You says, fuck you, hippie. Thank you, Feel Jesus in You. Tatty, what have you got coming up for us the next couple of days? When's your next live stream, by the way?
My next live stream will be, oh God, when? It's looking like the end of the month at some point. Possibly.
31st.
Maybe.
Yeah, I do need to sort
first on Friday, so maybe not. But round about that time. Watch your shows. Watch me get beat up and be forced to pick a time.
Yeah, sorry, just before we finish, I did actually forget just to say Mr. Sensible has been sick as well. He had to leave his holiday early, so we wish him well. We absolutely wish him well.
I saw that. I watched his video earlier. I completely forgot about it as well. It went out of my head because he released a video. I was not expecting one. I was like, ooh. And I was like, oh, that's no fun. People being ill, especially after just coming out of lockdown, finally getting some time to escape with the family and stuff like that, and then that. But
hey,
yeah, shame.
I'm really sorry to butt in. I just want to ask McFlatty in the chat real quick. Oh wait, no, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to.
Sorry,
that's why.
I dropped.
On that note, we've just got Vesta Fraser in chat who says, you're a Welshman. If I remember correctly, how the heck does one say Clan Viapuch Gwilion tis Geriog a Drob Wilia Clan tis Siliod a Goch? Basically, you pronounce it Clan Via PG because nobody in their right mind would normally say that fucking word because it's mentally long.
Doesn't the train guy say it every time, though?
The train guy does, yeah, because it's a tourist attraction. I believe it's the little church next to the waterfall by the fairies of the saints, whatever, that are in the glen, or something like that.
There's another willow tree in there.
There probably is, yeah. So the wife would probably know it, but she's in the other room. So, but yeah, I think that's about it for tonight. I know I need to organise a 1000k special. A 1000k, that'd be nice. A 1k special on my channel.
Finally.
Yeah, it's actually stayed there now. I'm actually at last look on 1,005. So by the look of it, it's actually staying there. Thank God. 68 new subscribers in the last 28 days. Thank you very much to everyone. Point out as well that, yay, Kate Shiminari is no longer a registered nurse, though she's still a aesthetic nurse, which means she'll just give you Botox. And she thought that was a good enough reason to not go to her meeting with the Nurses and Midwifery Council. So that was funny as hell. I think that's everything we need to cover tonight. Anything else? If you want to come on to PubChat and chat with whoever we've got on, we will keep one swing seat so people can jump in. And apart from that, love you all, leave you all, get out my goddamn pub, and Tatty, hit the button.